everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm outside Stamford Bridge with Charlie. Charlie, my friend, we had an absolute nightmare. 4-4 against Man City, just to let everyone know the result. Before the game, mate, I left my season tickets at home and Chelsea sent me one of them, but they wouldn't send me the other one because there was just an issue with the email. I'll be real, I didn't know if I'd be able to get you the ticket, man, but we managed to sort it out in the end. I bet you're glad you came.
Oh, mate, always. I mean, what a week it's been. The 4-1 at Spurs and then a 4-4 at City. I mean, this afternoon, it was vintage Premier League, wasn't it? Like, it had everything that game. It had shit refereeing decisions, it had goals, drama, the lot. I don't really know where to start, mate, but I think ultimately, like, it's a massive plus for us to get this result. A point against City's good. Like, you would have taken that before the game, but it's the way that we ended up getting the point. The fact that we went down with 5 minutes left, the fact that we were like down straight after half time as well, the fact that we let one in just in stoppage time in the first half, 2-2. Like, we responded to adversity really well, and I think we're seeing signs now that this young team's maturing. This young team is starting to get itself together, and I'll say it, like, something special is being built here. It's going to take a bit of time, but we are starting to see things come together now. And if you're a Chelsea fan watching that and you can't see the positives, you can't see the direction it's going in, you can't see the style of play, you can't see the identity being formed, then I feel sorry for you, because like it's impossible to not see what is going on there at the moment. I just don't understand people that think like we're not going anywhere. We absolutely are. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, conceding 4 goals at home, okay, if you're nitpicking, not great, but a penalty that never should have been, and a massively deflected strike from Rodri. Yes, we should be doing better with the marking for the Akanji goal, just leaving a man free in the box. That's got to improve. But ultimately, mate, like, there are a lot of positives to take from this game, and you know, it's given us a real big boost moving forward. Like, to start this run of games with a win against Tottenham and a draw against Man City. It's not bad, is it, to go into the international break with Newcastle to come afterwards, United coming up shortly after that as well. Like, we're in a good position. I know the position of the table is not good, but in terms of where this team's at right now, we are clearly progressing each week, which is a massive plus.
When was the first game that you thought to yourself, wow, we're really starting to click?
Arsenal, probably.
Okay.
Like, I've seen glimpses in other games, but the Arsenal game, the performance in that one, and against a big team, a team in form, a team doing very well, a team that a lot of people fancy to push Man City all the way, like, that for me, I know we fucked it up in the last 10 minutes in that game, but that for me was the one where I'm like, okay, you know, this team does have a bit about it. Yes, it's going to make mistakes. Yes, it's going to need time to develop. But this team's got a bit about it. And now we're seeing that mentality, that togetherness, you know. That today was a prime example of that. We didn't let our heads drop, you know. Like, I think we would have rolled over in previous years. You know, we've gone 4-3 down with 5 minutes to go. There was no chance of us getting back in the game. But we were sitting together, and there was actually belief that, do you know what, we actually can get back into this game. And that's a huge positive, mate. So we are absolutely taking strides in the right direction. But at the same time, you know, there's still more to go. But absolutely, I've got full faith in the manager, full faith in this team, full faith in this project that we'll be back at the top. We'll be back at the top soon. But it's just going to take a little bit longer to get there. But you can absolutely see what is going on here and what is being built.
Well, if you watch the match and if you look at the scoreline, this is a Man City-Liverpool kind of game. You've never seen this with Man City and Chelsea. I haven't. I can't remember the last time I saw a high-scoring game like this. I remember when Mourinho was our manager for the second spell. You know, we go to the Etihad and nick a win. It was hard. It was always a hard-earned win against City. But today, I saw two teams with a lot of quality, so much grit, and I think we had even more grit than the treble winners, champions of Europe. That is testament to Mauricio, that is testament to the players, the belief that they instilled with themselves. I mean, I did say it, Charlie, when we were 3-2 down. I was telling you, believe, mate, I can see it in the players.
Mate, I never once in that game felt, do you know what, we're down and out here. I always believed, you know, there was just something about it, just a feeling you get when you're in the ground that, like, do you know what, we're still in this. Even with 5 minutes to go, I still felt we were in it. There was still going to be one more chance. So, yeah, look, it's credit to the gaffer, credit to the players themselves, credit to the work they've been doing, the mentality we've got now. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. Everyone's playing for each other. Everyone's playing for the team, playing for the badge. And it's been a long time since we've been able to say that. I honestly think, mate, these owners have come in for criticism. These owners have done a lot of things, but actually, one of the best things they've done is get rid of.
Sorry, mate.
Get rid of all those characters.
That's the Man City coaching stuff.
Yeah, there they are.
Go on, back to Manchester. Back to Manchester, lads.
One of the best things they've done, mate, is clear out the squad, get rid of all the bad eggs, all the people that didn't want to be here. And it makes such a difference. For the first time in a long time, they actually got players that all want to be for this club, and they're pulling in the right direction. And that cannot be underestimated. The power of that.
100%, and I think there was a real split within the fan base when we weren't getting the results. People still said we weren't trying. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that. I think the effort was always there, but now we're starting to see the quality, which is shone through because of the effort and the belief as well. Because Pochettino, I don't think I've ever heard a manager speak as much about emotions as I have with Poch. We didn't really hear it with Tuchel. We didn't really hear it with, maybe a little bit with Conte. Sorry, never. And you know, it goes to show that there's a lot of coaching you can do, and you can set up your team a certain way. But if they do believe, if they are confident, if they know what they have to do, and they're comfortable in the team, then good players will perform.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I think you can see now a platform for players starting to do well. Nicholas Jackson, like we said, he was struggling before that Spurs game. He gets the hat-trick, and then I thought it was decent today. Another goal. That's 6 goals in 11 games. That's pretty good. That's more goals than Julian Alvarez. That's more goals than all of Man United's attack combined. Like, this is a guy that people are laughing at, and I'm like, hang on a second. He's got 6 in 11 games, right? It's better than 1. It's just above 1 in 2, and yet I'm supposed to think that this guy's shit and like one of the worst strikers about. Like, what's that about? You know, we know he's not a finished article. We know he wasn't brought in to be the first choice striker, but right now he went for a difficult patch and he's got 4 goals in his last 2 games against Spurs and Man City. If that's not a confidence boost, and if that's not a player in form and doing well, then I don't know what is. So fair play to him. You know, Sterling, again, I've been critical of Sterling this season because he needs to do more in these big games. He was signed to influence these big games. Fair play to him today. He influenced the big games. I thought he was brilliant tonight. You know, he gets his goal. He was a constant threat throughout. So fair play to him for that. But we need to see more of it in these bigger games from him. But look, everyone, I think pretty much to a man, maybe bar Enzo, I thought he was a bit off it today, quite poor. Everyone to a man today was brilliant, but that Enzo, Caicedo, Gallagher midfield caused a lot of problems. Cole Palmer was just, mate, Cole Palmer's that guy, isn't he? Like he's just, I cannot believe how good he's been for us. I know we say it all the time, but I can't believe the impact he's had. And I think he's just built differently. He's just got different minerals, isn't he, for those penalties, mate. Like, last minute against his former team, he had to wait nearly 3 minutes to take that penalty by the time they finished arguing and fucking about or whatever. To have the coolness to slot that away, he's built different. He's built differently, mate. He's been absolutely superb. What a signing he's been. And, mate, he's almost, I honestly believe, mate, he's the most important player. He makes everything tick. He's the playmaker for this side. What a signing he's been. And, yeah, mate, he's just that guy. I love him. I think he's so good. And, you know, he's got that arrogance about him as well, but you don't mind because all the top players have that arrogance. And I really think he's a top player.
But it's a healthy arrogance.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You need that. You've got to have that belief in yourself. You have to. And he does. He believes in himself. He backs himself. And every time he stepped on the pitch for Chelsea, he's been superb. He's not had a bad minute in a Chelsea shirt. And, you know, long may that continue. But, yeah, I just think overall, mate, just real positives to take tonight. I would have been absolutely fucking raging if we'd lost that game because we didn't deserve to lose that game. We played really well. We did play really well. So yeah, I can't really have too many negatives. Obviously, Taylor, the penalty is an absolute disgrace. I don't want to focus on it too much because obviously we end up coming away with a point. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't be swept under the carpet.
It's a huge talking point.
It was an absolute disgrace. Like I didn't even know like it had been given as a penalty. We're just sitting there watching it, thinking, hang on a second, he's given a penalty. Like, normally you can tell by players' reaction, like, if it's a penalty, if they feel they've been wronged. There was no reaction from any of the Man City players. There was no reaction from anyone. We just thought we were going to carry on for a goal kick, and yet ended up being a penalty. Like, when a referee is going to start falling for Haaland's trick, where he grabs players in the first movement, and then, obviously, Cucurella grabs him back, but they obviously haven't watched that first bit where Haaland grabs him in the first place. Like, it's never a penalty in a million years, and we just got to be thankful in a way that hasn't cost us. But it's an absolute disgrace that Taylor's reffing Chelsea games. The PGMOL need to sort that out. It's a shambles, but luckily it hasn't ended up costing us severely this game. But in another game it will, and in previous games it has. But it's another Chelsea game, and it's another shocking decision with Taylor involved as ref.
Should he ref any more Premier League games? Because I'm sorry, mate, this is probably the biggest game of the weekend, if not one of the biggest games. To go from the Championship to the Premier League in one game, when you had a terrible game in the Championship in the first place, like, where is the sense in that?
Mate, there's none. Like, he got rightly demoted because he gave a dog shit penalty in the Wolves-Newcastle game. He gave a howler in the Championship when he was demoted there. And then suddenly he comes back, and I see earlier this week that he's reffing this game. It's like, how is that even possible? Like, fine, come back, bring him back to the Prem, but give him a shit game like Brighton against Sheffield United. Build him back in. Don't give him the biggest game of the weekend. Don't give him a Chelsea game where you know that he doesn't have a good relationship with Chelsea. There's not a good relationship between the Chelsea fans and Taylor. And you chuck him in that, and it was too big for him. I thought it was shocking again, but what do you expect? It's referees in this country, it's incompetence, it's the PGMO, it's Howard Webb, it's all these guys fucking not good enough, not fit for purpose, and something has to change.
Well, it's not just Taylor. Someone else upstairs needs to get demoted at this rate.
Well, that fucking guy in the VAR, Jared, whatever his fucking name is, he was the same geezer that gave Gusto the red card against Aston Villa, which was dubious as well. So they're all fucking at it. So yeah, I mean, the whole officiating team were a fucking disgrace today. But I don't want to like focus on that to take a shine away from what was a very positive performance with, I'll probably say 10 out of 11 players doing very well. I was disappointed in Enzo Fernandez. I think he's had a couple of poor games recently. But yeah, look, lots of positives to take forward. We're going in the right direction, absolutely. But yeah, mate, it's just a crazy game. Like, we didn't think we'd get a crazier game than the Spurs one, and then in a sort of a different sort of way, we get two games equally as crazy each other in less than 7 days. I mean, it's not good for the heart rate, it's not great for the health, but we absolutely wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, look, credit to Chelsea, we are building something here. And look, do you know what now? I know our home form's not good, but that's now this season at home, unbeaten against Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. And if you want to include away games, unbeaten against Spurs as well. So we've played 4 Big Six sides and we've not lost against them this season. Considering last year we didn't even beat a single Big Six side, home or away, to already be unbeaten in 4 against Big Six sides, that's a massive step in the right direction this season. So yeah, mate, positive signs are coming. We are on the up, but there's no getting away from the fact that our position on the table is not great, but I feel now the points are coming and we're going to start to climb that table second half of the season. We can get through this December period get as many points on the board as possible, bring in a top-class striker in January. I genuinely believe we can have a really strong second half of the season and qualify for the Champions League.
Lovely, mate. Just to finish it off, score predictions going into Newcastle.
All right, it's a couple of weeks' time. Obviously, hopefully, Nkunku and Lavia are back in the squad. Newcastle, I know they're a bit depleted, not having a great season, really, but at home they are very good. St James's Park is a fucking tough place to go, but I feel we're doing well. If we can get through the international break with no new injuries, more players back, I don't see why we can't go there and win. So, yeah, fuck it, let's say 2-1, why not?